I mean, it's some kind of a jelly type substance.
Oh my God, they want to stay with me.
Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble because he doesn't want them turning to God.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Wiz.
And I'm Molly.
And today we got some crazy TikToks for y'all, so sit back and watch.
Yes, and this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, it is.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It's advised, so
we're going to get right into it.
What if I told you the laws of physics were literally being destroyed?
I'd say you were going crazy.
Maybe I am crazy. This was supposed to be our timeline.
And somehow we ended up over here. This isn't a glitch. Let it go. I'm gonna need someone who isn't afraid of risk. Fry!
Listen to me very carefully.
I'm gonna get you out.
So scientists are now saying that there are a series of baffling incidents that appear to defy the known laws of physics.
The math doesn't add up anymore, which means someone, something, is changing the math.
It's like they built a back door into the universe.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Neil. Time to divide everything by 0. Ha 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 ha.
Neil, we're gonna die! Let me think, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Stop them. They're getting away.
To be honest, this whole theory sounds pretty out there.
You really shouldn't have called me, Neil. You don't understand. He's collapsing the goddamn multiverse. I'm not going back, Neil!
Send in the fucking drones.
So it was all a big fat lie! I thought I told you to shut him down.
It's not what you think.
Ouch.
that was to happen in real life.
That's crazy AI made that. If
Yeah,
that's a
it
real
looks
movie.
real.
Yeah.
Too real.
I want to see it.
Graphics or something crazy like.
Yes.
That's serious. Oh man, that's.
It says the
world
AI
coming down.
page.
That's what the world coming down to. Man.
They are selling on Vinted. Don't believe me? I'll put some photos here. Screenshot them, read them. Just like 50 seconds. Okay, let me talk about this. I know I only have like 30 followers on here, but I really do want to talk about this because it's important. So, as you can see in the description of the photos, there's, I don't want to be specific because I don't remember, I'm not going to remember what photos I put there, but they're being sold on Vinted. And they're being listed as $2,000, $3,000, $16,000. It all depends on the age. A Rubik's Cube, for example, I saw one on there, went for $1,900. It was sold. What was the description? It wasn't rainbow. It wasn't small. The description was Rubik's Cube has an age? That's weird. They may be talking about how old the Rubik's Cube is, how long they've had it. No. They gave the height of the Rubik's Cube. They also gave the weight of the Rubik's Cube. And it was somewhere around 20 kilograms. it is also difficult to get this stuff reported because sellers are allowed to price whatever they want for however much they want. And so if you didn't know about this, I'm really glad I brought the attention to it. So I don't really care if this gets 11 likes, 20 likes, maybe even like 100 likes. I just need people to see this because it is that important. Yeah. So if you want, share it to someone because maybe they don't even know about this. And hopefully you just found out, and please tell other people. Thanks for watching.
In the heliocentric model of the cosmos, the moon revolves around the Earth 13 times per year, traveling at 2,288 miles per hour, while the Earth revolves around the Sun once per year, traveling at 67,000 miles per hour. The following model and animation illustrate how this is supposed to occur. As you can see, since the moon is revolving around the Earth, which itself is revolving around the Sun, in order to maintain its regular orbit, the moon would have to be constantly and drastically changing its speed in ways completely unaccounted for by the model. In the outer part of its orbit, the moon would have to speed up 67,000 miles per hour, in addition to its regular speed of 2,288 miles per hour, just to keep up with the Earth. So the moon would then be traveling at 69,288 miles per hour when it reached the front of the Earth. At this point, since the moon is allegedly 240,000 miles away from the Earth would catch up in just 4 hours, so the moon must continue traveling 67,000 miles per hour along Earth's trajectory, while simultaneously continuing its now perpendicular 2,288 mile per hour second trajectory. Then, as it turns to reach the inner part of its orbit, the moon must now slow back down to its original speed, allowing the Earth to pass by. Lastly, as it passes behind the Earth, the moon must once again quickly accelerate back up to nearly 70,000 miles per hour before getting left in the dust. In addition to all of this, the Sun itself is allegedly orbiting the Milky Way galaxy at 448,000 miles per hour, further compounding the problems and calculations of the heliocentric model. If this were true, then the Earth, Moon, and other planets would all have yet another set of ridiculous and impossible corkscrewing accelerations and decelerations necessary just to keep up with the Sun. And for the cherry on top, all of these calculations have been assuming perfectly circular orbits, but the actual heliocentric model claims that the Moon's orbit around the Earth's orbit around the Sun, and the Sun's orbit around the Milky Way are all elliptical, not circular, meaning there would be even more additional accelerations and decelerations to calculate depending where each one is along its elliptical path. These constant and drastic accelerations and decelerations necessitated by the heliocentric model are rarely, if ever, mentioned by globe believers, because they have always been taught that the reason we do not feel or experience any of this supposed motion is because we always travel at a constant velocity. In their own model, however, due to their elliptical orbits and revolving around other revolving bodies, the Moon, Sun, Earth, and other planets could not maintain constant velocities, and would instead be regularly accelerating and decelerating. Yet, meanwhile, you can stack a house of cards, make a rock cairn, or play a game of Jenga, all without any of this motion, acceleration, and deceleration ever being felt or experienced.
There are so many strange things happening in 2026, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Does that work? Got ourselves a little break in the matrix here.
Strange weather phenomena.
What the is going on with Dallas right now?
Strange things falling from the sky.
Is it alive? I don't know.
Bizarre UFO footage that people have been capturing in broad daylight.
It's kind of scary again. Just look at that thing again. There it is. It's just hovering, dude.
Strange creatures caught on camera.
Oh, no way. Do you see that?
And so much more. So if you're here for the strange sightings, this is the place to be. Stay tuned because the sightings only get weirder as this video goes on. Thanks for joining. Today's video has a lot of stuff falling from the sky, including this, whatever this is.
Yeah, looks like to me.
That was captured on April 19th, and it looks like hundreds or thousands of worms just fell from the sky.
哎呦，我踩脚上这个感觉。
And then one woman found this on the hood of her car.
I mean, it's some kind of a jelly type substance. I have no idea what that is. So it came out of the sky. Okay, well, that's interesting.
And right there, you can see it clearly move. That's the strange thing. Whatever this is, it's alive. I've never seen something like that. Maybe you have. Maybe there's a reasonable explanation for it. If you know what that is, let me know down below in the comments.
Just last year, the Inspector General, when I asked him to do an audit of the St. Louis Distribution Center, the Inspector General told me it was the worst case of lack of on-time delivery, the worst case of distribution problems he had ever seen, ever, in an audit that he had done. Ever. What's been changed since then?
If you look at the service scores, I would commend you to go online. We publish our service scores weekly.
I don't want to go online. I want you to come here with answers because you're the Postmaster General of the United States. I don't want to have you come here and be told you don't know what's going on in my home state. When I have written to you, when I have called you, when my residents have called you and asked you, when they're paying their taxes and they're paying these Postal Service marks and increases, I don't want to be told, go online. I want answers. And the other thing I want to know is, why are you getting bonuses and members of your staff getting bonuses for this kind of performance? Let's take a look. Just look at the numbers. The Postmaster Generals of this country in the last 10 years have gotten bonuses over $2 million.
Wow.
You got a bonus last year, $305,781. Why?
It's crazy.
Why are you getting bonuses when my constituents can't get the mail?
Senator, I don't control bonuses. Our board of governors.
Will you pledge not to take them?
Pardon me?
Will you pledge not to take them?
Will you pledge to reward our people?
Oh, no. Don't turn it around. You are in charge of the Postal Service, and we have given you everything you've asked for. Just 3 years ago, this Congress allotted tens of billions of dollars to the Postal Service. I'm glad you think it's funny, Postmaster General. You think that this situation is funny. Let the record reflect the Postmaster General is laughing as he gets asked why he's taking bonuses while there's piles of undelivered mail in my state. It's a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace.
Let the record reflect that I was laughing when you said we've been given everything we've asked for.
You have been given an opportunity to deliver the mail, and you're here laughing about it. You are here telling me you don't know, you're unprepared, and let the record reflect you won't pledge not to take bonuses. So you're going to keep on taking them? Is that what you're telling me? Yes or no? Will you refuse bonuses so long as the mail goes undelivered?
Any piece of mail?
Yes or no? Will you refuse bonuses until the mail gets delivered? Yes or no?
What mail?
Oh, this is extraordinary. In other words,
no,
you don't know. You want the money. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Our mail.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
I am absolutely astounded at this today, General. Well, you should be.
I think it's crazy.
And frankly, if things don't get better, you ought to resign because you're not doing the job. You're leaving your good postal workers out there. You're hanging them out to dry. They don't make near what you do. They're working their butts off. They're getting blamed, and you're getting the bonus. We got a big problem.
Time is expired.
And based on what I've seen today, you're part of it.
That's a shame.
I'm still waiting on mail from January.
Yeah, like this mail running slow, and
I'm missing so much mail. I still haven't even been able to file my taxes.
apparently you see it, guys. We're having a problem. If anybody else having a problem, let us know.
Yeah, put it in the comments.
This is crazy. It's getting out of hand.
They took the trees. Our fruit trees.
They took the trees and sold us back the fruit. Then they took the water. Rivers, rain, springs that fed civilizations for thousands of years, bottled it and sold it back to us. They took the land that existed here long before any human drew lines around it. And they said, if you want to stand here, you better have a payment plan. Everything we need to exist, food, water, shelter, was already here. Nobody created it. But somehow, you were born owing for it. Am I the only one this drives mad? I mean, why is a free life?
No, you're not the only one.
Such a crazy idea. Why does simply existing without bills, debt, or permission sound like a fantasy? Why in the hell did we ever let anybody convince us that this is the way things were supposed to be?
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
I just don't see the point.
In what? There is no point. Or at least big picture, we don't get to know what it is. Why we live, why Megan lost the baby, why that girl killed herself.
You're not reassuring me, Doctor.
I can't reassure you. This idea you have that there's a way to be safe, it's childish and cowardly. It stops you from experiencing anything, including anything good.
You don't think I feel bad enough already? I know I'm messed up. But you're supposed to teach me how not to be.
You know how. Stop waiting for life to be easy. Stop hoping for somebody to save you. You don't need another person lying to you. Things don't all add up. But you're resilient. Face some hard facts and you could have an incredible life.
Louis, a moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
See everything outside our dimension. That's eternity. Eternity looking down on us. Now to us, it's a sphere. But to them, it's a circle.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Because it's a lot of money. I have money. It's trust and character I need around me. You know, who you choose to be around you, let you know who you are. And one car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of, that's a price I can live with. Look at all those people down there. Do they follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them. What happens if I don't? Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back. See, we all got what I call a life trap. There's gene deep certainty that things will be different. That you'll move to another city and meet the people that'll be the friends for the rest of your life. That you'll fall in love and be fulfilled. Fucking fulfillment. And closure. Where the fuck those two fucking empty jars to hold this shitstorm? Like nothing's ever fulfilled. Until the very end. And closure. No. Nothing is ever over. And now here I stand because of you, Mr. Anderson. Because of you. I'm no longer an agent of this system. Because of you, I've changed. I'm unplugged. A new man, so to speak. Like you, apparently free. Congratulations. Thank you. But, as you well know, appearances can be deceiving, which brings me back to the reason why we're here. We're not here because we're free We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason.
Andy says to me, what if I told you that the official Bureau of Prisons layout of the units,
like the architecture,
the official report that I have right here of the actual MCC or whatever it's called,
like the straight up blueprints.
Yes. And he opens it up to that page. What if I told you that it's wrong for one cell in particularly?
No fucking way.
And literally I was like Ben Affleck in The Town when they see the cop after that whole chase, and the cop's just like looking right at him, and he's like, are you gonna do it? Like, I literally looked at him like that, and he goes, let's go back to the cell. So again, Deef, if you could pull this up, you can see that there is a full corner of this cell. So the door is directly behind my back, and the corner of the cell makes an indented L in the room. And what Andy discovered is that it was a vent. It was an air duct. There's effectively an 8x4 room on the other side of that.
Wow.
That you can get into, and you cannot see. That's why that was that funny meme from the show. I'll pull it up right here on my phone so you can see it. I put this on Instagram, but there's a hilarious meme where he had me go stand looking through the prison door like this, and he took the dummy like he was choking it behind the L to demonstrate. He was like, Julian, can you see me? And I'm like, nope. So I'm staring through the door. I put this up on Instagram because someone needs to make a fucking meme out of this. But this is what, can you see it, Deef?
Yeah.
This is what it looked like. You see him shaking it?
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, I could be killing him right here, and you would not know. So I'm looking through, and I cannot see behind that L, meaning if the security guard, those people were fucking out to lunch, but if they were standing at the door, they literally wouldn't be able to tell if anything, whether it's someone killing him, or someone putting him in the vent, putting a new person in there, a body double, or whatever it is, they wouldn't be able to see it on that end. He then walked through with me, and this is, I had a full-blown redux to episode 97 during this. He walked through exactly a 72-hour period how Jeffrey Epstein, if it needed to be that long, would survive in there, and then proceeded to very nonchalantly be like, 72 hours, you wouldn't need 72 hours. He said, I've determined this mission to get him out of this prison is very easy. It could have been done with 3 people, one of whom is an inmate on the take. 3 people.
That's wild.
And then he walked me through like a serial killer walking through. It's gonna sound so bad, but whatever. Like a serial killer walking through exactly how something so crazy and evil is done. He was like, step 1, I don't even remember it. Laundry cart, this guy, you get this type of prisoner right over there. It's approximately 15 minutes after X, Y, or Z. I don't remember the details, what it was. You have one guy outside who's working with some sort of, foreign nations, I think he said, because he's like, that was the other thing. Andy was going to like, the guy worked with Israel. Andy seems pretty confident on that. I obviously agree. Seems to shy away from the CIA's guilt in the matter. I disagree with him on that part. Yeah, true company.
Zero ties to the CIA.
I don't want to say Andy said zero. It's just that was a part of the conversation that conveniently would be not brought up. But there's also other places, because what Andy seems to be getting with is that, the whole elite kind of cabal of all different psychos around the world, like Jeffrey Epstein was wired into that.
Sounds like Mr. Epstein left and Mr. Palm Beach Pete came out after him.
You prayed and believed your whole life. Never done anything wrong. And here you are. You're the nicest person I know. I am the meanest. You have dementia. My life is perfect. Explain that to me.
Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble because he doesn't want them turning to God. Their sin is like a jail cell, except it's all nice and comfy, and there doesn't seem to be any need to leave. The door's wide open. Till one day, time runs out. The cell door slammed shut. And suddenly, it's too late.
The birds can teach you how to sing. They sing. They sing. It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful. Oh my God, they want to sing with me. Period.
Jesus is coming back so soon. Have you guys seen this? Watch this clip.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
So that's the King of England, and he just confirmed they're coming out with a digital ID. And in case you didn't know, the Bible warned us about a little something like this. I'm not saying this is exactly what the Bible's talking about, but I'm no expert. I'm just a 22-year-old who reads the Bible. But I do know that the Bible told us 2,000 years ago that one day there's going to be a system where you cannot buy or sell anything unless you have a specific mark. Now, I'm not saying this is the mark. I really don't know. But I'm just saying everything the Bible said would happen in the last days before Jesus comes back is happening right in front of our eyes. We are closer to the return of Jesus than we've ever been. And that's a fact. And you might be like, oh, you guys have been saying he's coming back for 2,000 years. I mean, 2,000 years isn't that long if you think about it. The Bible says 1,000 years is like a day to the Lord, which means it's only been 2 days for Jesus. Think about it like this. From Adam to Abraham, it was 2,000 years. From Abraham to Jesus, another 2,000 years. And from Jesus to today, another 2,000 years. So 6,000 years total. And how many days did God create the heavens and the earth? 6 days. And what day did God create the sun? The 4th day. And what day did the Son of God come down to this earth? The 4,000th year. And just look around and look at what's happening in the world right now. Every single sign Jesus said would happen is literally happening. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited in this time we're living right now. God could have chosen anyone else to be alive right now. He could have chosen Billy Graham, C.S. Lewis, Albert Einstein. I don't know. He could have chosen anyone to be alive at this specific time, but he chose us. You might think I'm crazy for saying Jesus is coming back soon, and I'm okay with being called crazy because you know who else was called crazy? Noah. Until it started to rain. And what did Jesus say the last days will be like? The days of Noah, where people are just going on about their everyday life, and then boom, he comes back. So listen, I'd rather you hate me on the way to heaven than love me on the way to hell. Jesus didn't call me to be light by this world. He called me to be a light to this dark world. And light by its very nature makes the darkness uncomfortable. If it sounds like I'm being hateful, that's because the truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. I say all this to say,
Jesus coming back, I'm prepared. People hate me and I don't care. I love all my haters so much I'm not in my feelings, homie, I'm in prayer.